If you post a photo online, no context, just the photo itself, or maybe if you send it to your friends or family, the truth is that, you'll get some words of encouragement, but also at some point you'll get some questions. And more often than not, you're getting the question of when and where this photo was taken. But if you send it to someone particularly interested in photography, they'll ask you what camera did you use. And maybe because, if you say like a M6, Canon A1, your smartphone, the photo will be judged differently. I don't know. I can't answer that question because it depends on everyone's, subjectivity. But the truth is that there's a group of cameras that, I haven't heard more about it. I think they're quite consistent and they can be quite good for your photography, not just to photograph, but further uses that we're going to be talking about in this video. And so these are cameras that can render colors quite nicely, that for the most part their light meter is quite accurate. They have a good capability. So why are we not talking about these cameras, the smartphone cameras? And this video is going to be about mainly what happens when the same effort that you put in these cameras, you also put in these cameras. And so today's video is going to be about that. So buckle up, grab a drink, make yourself comfortable, and let's go straight to another video. This is a question I want to ask you. What is the value of the camera in your photography? And then more general, the value of the camera in general photography. Some people talk about cameras as if they were holy grails. And while that is okay because it's their opinion, I think a camera should be viewed as a tool and be valued as such, like a paintbrush to a painter or rulers and protractors to an architect. And in this sequence of thoughts, what happens when you treat your phone as a tool for your photography and you place the same value as you were to put in your cameras? Well, I found this to be an incredible exercise that proved time and time again that phones can definitely be cool cameras to snap and document the world. And over the years, I've accumulated images from my phones, especially with this phone I now have, which is an iPhone 12. Which is something I've been taking photos on for quite some time now, and the results have actually surprised me. And so my iPhone has 3 cameras, of which I only use one to be honest with you, and that is the main camera, which is the equivalent of a 26mm f1.6 lens. And the phone itself has a 12 megapixel sensor. And to be honest with you, I guess that there's better out there in terms of cameras and whatnot, but that's really not the point. And when I look at some of the photos that I've taken and I zoom in, the image is still quite sharp. And so from a technical perspective, I think in most cases the light is well rendered and the colors do match reality. But more importantly, there's no over or under saturation. And I think the phone is definitely extremely convenient to carry around. And I think the smartphone can also have other uses in our photography other than to snap something quickly when I walk down the street. Because I also use my phone to take visual notes, and I like to visit museums and galleries and get inspiration from viewing pieces in real life. And I tend to capture visual notes or details or a certain painting or photograph to help me study it later. I also keep folders on my phone with projects or images of places I've been that I want to go back to later to photograph it with my film cameras. And lastly, I do have a light meter. But there are times when I'm out and I calculate in my head the values for a good exposure on a particular moment, but I also use my light meter app, and in my experience, it's always been very reliable. But of course, being a film photographer, I did miss the look of film in my photos, I'm not gonna lie, especially, the photos that I take with my phone. And so here comes the second app that I'm quite surprised with and that I, wanted to talk to you about, and that is Dehancer. And when I first got the invite to trial out the app, I thought, how can this really stand out since there's so many options out there that already emulate film, or there's filters or whatnot, and how can these presets be different? And so I did some, looked at the app and looked at, the company itself, and I realized that this was a app made by film photographers. So people that are connected to either the film business or were connected at some point or shoot film. So that kind of knowledge and familiarity with what I do, obviously by shooting film, made me, wanting to give it a trial. And I was quite surprised because there's so many different It's not just your average, like, preset film. There's actually really, really cool presets like Lomochrome Purple, Metropolis, Kodak Vision. I think it's so cool because the app itself is so simple to deal with and so minimalistic that you just basically open the app, select the photo that you want, and you're basically exposed to this wide range of presets that emulate stocks that we know well, or at least have heard of. And by the way, I have to say, the Fuji Eterna, which is one that I use a sample of to create my own preset, which is available on the app if you want to use it as well. And you can, use all these presets. You can use Kodak Vision, which is one of my favorites as well, or you can use the Kodachrome 64, which is also so cool. But I just wanted to say this because I feel like it's not just putting presets onto your photos and it's done. You can also adjust it to your photo, and you can pull or push like you do it with film. And I think it's so cool when you do that and you apply these terms, because it definitely is familiar for me. And I like to see this, homage to film being done in a digital way. And I love to open my mind to these new challenges and new experiences, because you never know what you can take out of it. And that's my message to you. So try it out, see for yourself. I think it's all about having fun. And if you're a film photographer, it's quite cool. And, I think overall the apps are very good. And so I'm going to be leaving links down below if you want to try it out. But the camera on our phones is not just for photographing, they also film. And with that in mind, you can use your cameras, whether that is to record a clip of your friends, your child's birthday, or your next YouTube video, who knows. I actually have used it extensively for the channel, mainly during photography trips where it's not very convenient to handle 2 or 3 cameras at a time. And judging by the clips I have captured with it, the camera can be quite useful. Its quality is of course not top of the line or cinema camera type of quality, but it does allow for some margins for cropping your footage. And I don't know how it would be with an Android, but if you do have AGR tools on your editing software, you can also work on slight color adjustments, even though naturally the footage can be quite good in terms of exposure, contrast, and colors. And so I guess this has been all for today. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. It truly means a lot. Thank you to everyone who has been purchasing a print. It truly means a lot. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the vote of confidence. And if you want to order a print, link to the shop will be down below, and the code Early Christmas will give you 15% off. So thank you so much for supporting my work. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Dehancer for the invitation to, trial out their app, and for opening my eyes to new possibilities within the realm of film photography, even if it's digital. And I really like that, and I'm going to continue using this app because why not? And so I guess that, it's been all for today. So I hope to see you in the channel very soon. Stay safe, keep shooting, film, digital, whatever you do. Subscribe for a cookie. Peace.